Hi, this is Dan Encell, Berkshire Hathaway. Today is Monday, October 5th. Let's recap what's happened in the third quarter of 2015, both nationwide, then Santa Barbara County, then Montecito and Hope Ranch sort of specifically. So nationwide, it looks like the national real estate market has settled into a very comfortable plateau. Saw a slight rise in prices during the third quarter, but the number of sales seems to have plateaued and hit a very comfortable level there. Earlier in the year, definitely we're seeing a excess of demand over supply there, which was driving up prices, which isn't really that sustainable at the rate it was going. So it's settled into a very comfortable plateau there. Interest rates are remaining near historical lows, or trailing right around just under 4%. But again, very consistent there and very accessible too, which is equally important to the rates, is the accessibility of them. The National Association of Realtors chief economist is expecting sales to sort of continue at the same pace throughout the remainder of the year, and then also expecting prices to have increased about 5.8% for 2015 as a whole. So again, the bulk of that was in the earlier part of the year. I think right now we're much more level in both in terms of sale activity and pricing. So what's happening in Santa Barbara? Third quarter of the year was definitely off in terms of a couple of statistics. Inventory levels are remaining pretty constant, so it's not supply driven. It's definitely been more demand driven. Here's where we're at here. The number of sales in the third quarter rose about 11% to 515 sales. Average sales price dropped 18% though to $1,203,000. The reason there was the big drop in average sales price was there was a noticeable lack of sales activity in the two highest end segments of the market, Montecito and Hope Ranch. I'll get to that in just a minute there, but median price fell 8% to $885,000. But again, that was less of an impact than the average sales price drop there. Overall sold volume dropped the same. It also dropped 8% to $639 million, which again, pretty big number there. On average, properties sold for about 97% of their last list price. So again, a very stable market there. So what happened in Montecito? Montecito, the inventory levels remained very consistent. Average sale price rose 7%. Median sale price dropped 7%, so that wasn't really the big news there. The big news was lack of sales. During the entire third quarter, there were only 43 sales in Montecito. That's off about 44% compared to the third quarter of 2014. That lack of sales dropped overall sales volume over 40% to $166 million there. Just to put that in perspective, during the third quarter of 2014, there was over $110 million more sold during that quarter than there was this year. So that's a fairly significant drop there. Montecito Hope Ranch had even more significant drop. The number of sales dropped over 60% in Hope Ranch during the third quarter. There were only 5, count them, 5 closed sales in Hope Ranch during the entire third quarter. So even though average and median price were up significantly in Hope Ranch, big deal. It's statistically insignificant because it has too few properties to really make it count. So their sales activity was off over 60-something percent with only 5 closed sales. So the lack of high-end activity in both Montecito and Hope Ranch significantly affected the average sales price for Santa Barbara County there. So what's it mean going forward? Well, in all segments of our market right now, pending sales look pretty good. In Santa Barbara, they're pretty much tracking above where they were at this time last year. There are 170 properties pending. Montecito had 24, which is more than we had the last couple Septembers, so that's looking pretty good. Hope Ranch only has 1 right now, but again, it's not a big enough number to be statistically significant or insignificant. So it looks like we're going to finish out the year pretty good. I don't think we're going to see much movement in prices, but I think we're going to see an increase in number of sales going forward into the fourth quarter there. So again, very slow third quarter, but I think the fourth quarter is going to pick up and be a good, solid quarter. That's it.